like to make videos on things I actually don't do professionally, but when you're a house cleaner, you learn tricks and you know a thing or two. So I am going to show you how I clean my windows. Before you begin, you want to prep the area. Basically, we want to move everything out of the way, get all of the furniture set aside. You want to push it back not only so that you don't drop product onto it, but so you have room to clean. And then we want to remove all of the curtains, push those all back, and you are ready to rock. So you want to take a bucket with hot water and grab a sponge. I always like to go with a non-scratch sponge and wring that sucker out. We do not want water dripping everywhere. Step number 1, you want to loosen the debris. So this is where you're kind of doing the elbow grease and scrubbing the window and just loosening everything up. And I also like to hit my window seals while I'm at it, but notice that I flip the sponge so it's the non-abrasive side so I don't scratch or chip the paint. Step number 2 is you want to dry and remove all of that water and any of that debris that you just loosened up. Step number 3, you spray the surface with water or whatever you decide to use. This is the final step, step number 4, where you hit it one more time, removing any residue or water or any debris that was left the first wave. So you basically repeat this window by window. So I'm just going to go over the steps one more time. Step 1, loosen the debris. Step number 2, you're going to do a quick little dry and then remove all of it into your towel. Step number 3, you're going to spray it down with, I use water. You can use what you like. And step number 4 is you wipe it to perfection. So it's basically repeating this over and over throughout your house on every window or whatever windows you decide to do that day. So I really like to use basically just water to do windows. If I was going to add something, I would add vinegar. You have options here though. You can add a little bit of Dawn dish soap or dish soap, but I would not use that much because too much soap can actually cause it harder to get off of the window and make those streaks that you see on the window. Then you basically just keep repeating this throughout all of the indoor windows, and then you head out and do the exact same thing, but I am going to show you how I do it a little bit different outside, because instead of using a towel to dry it off, I actually use a squeegee. So let's go ahead and head outside, and I will show you how to do the outside window with a squeegee and a storm window. So we're going to start with just doing the outside. It's exactly the same as inside, however we are going to use a squeegee, which I will show you in a second. But before I show you that, I'm just going to point out a couple things with cleaning the glass window. One, on the outside, I'm a little bit more generous with how much water I use on my sponge. And then I use it, as you push down on the sponge, it releases it. So you just want to make sure if you overdo it, like I just did there, grab it from the bottom and just pull it throughout the whole entire window. And that way it's not dripping onto the window seal. The outside can handle a little bit more than the inside though. So now we are going to go ahead and step 2, which is drying with towel inside. We are going to use a squeegee instead. I actually am not a big fan of using a squeegee inside just because of all the water that drips, but outside it can handle it. And I always like to shake out the squeegee in between just to get more water off the squeegee, and so that way you're able to get more off the glass. And then once you've gone and done the whole entire window with the squeegee, you like to take a towel and I will wipe the window seal, because the water that drips can have a little bit of color on there and you just don't want it sitting there staining. So I always like to give that a little clean as well. So then next is step 3, where you're spraying it with your water, and step 4 is with your glass cloth. And I use a S pattern working top to bottom so that way you don't miss anything. Then we move just window to window, just like we did before. Here I use the towel instead of the squeegee, just to show you that if you don't have a squeegee, you can use a towel. You might go through a few, but that is okay. And just keep working one by one. If you don't have a glass cloth or a squeegee, I will link some in my description below, but I just go to my local cleaning store and get them there. So this is my husband, Nick, and he was so kind to help me with the storm windows. We kind of teamed it. He goes through and takes them off and sets them next to the window, and I go through and clean them all, and then once he's finished taking them all off, he follows behind and puts the clean ones back on. We make such a good team sometimes, and I just adore him. So he basically takes a screw gun and actually screws every single storm window off, and there's about 6 screws all together. So I grab the storm doors and I move them to a place where I have more room to clean, and also is better for filming. So there's that. But usually when they have those bushes and trees, it's hard to get in there. So I pull them out and I give them a really good deep clean. We just cleaned the inside of the windows, and we will put these back once they're clean. But we'll just take a scrub brush and work it through all of the tracks in the window seal, and just try to loosen up all of that debris, get all of the dirt out of there, any bugs. Once you kind of got all that loosened up, then you are going to move to the glass part and do the exact same thing that we did on all the other windows. So you're going to take your sponge and we are going to just loosen up all of that debris. I do not know why I did not use my squeegee, but I didn't. So I needed a little bit more water. It started to dry on me, and I just took my towel, did the same thing I did inside. Step 3 and 4, we shine that window. Now we're going to flip it around, and this is the side that has a screen. If you can take the screen off of the window, that could be ideal, and you could really clean that screen up well. Mine's not in that bad a shape, so I am going to show you quickly what I would do. Spraying kind of helps like a little jet, and it kind of pushes things through the cracks, and the water can help loosen anything that's sitting on the little wires. And then I use a scrub brush also to really push through those holes and get everything out and give it a nice big scrub. Mine wasn't bad, so I'm going to move to the next step, which is doing the exact same thing we did in the front. We take the scrub brush and we work our way through all of the tracks and just get them all through. Then we hit the glass again with our sponge, and then we dry. And I do work top to bottom, if you can see, and here I finally used the squeegee again because I completely forgot about it. And then just give the first window a clean, and instead of shining it, I'm going to actually wait till the end and work through the screen and move the screen up so that I can get the window underneath, and then we'll hit it with the shine so that if anything dripped from the screen onto the glass, we're not putting it back up there dirty. So we'll just go ahead and scrub into those tracks, do the same thing we've been doing. I think I forgot to sponge this, and I didn't realize it until I was making this video, but don't do that. But luckily it's where the screen is, so it's very hard to tell. So just shining it and making it pretty. We are almost done, and when you get to your last window, it is so rewarding to sit back at the end of the day and look through your beautiful clean windows, and then hit that top glass one more time.
All right, my windows are so beautiful, which is my favorite because seeing the sky is one of my favorite pieces of artwork, and I love to look at the sky, and so having clean windows to look through, it actually makes your anxiety go down a lot more because you're not like, oh, look at the beautiful sky. Ooh, I really need to clean my window, you know what I'm saying? So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. And subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up if you like this and want more. And if there was any technique or trick that you could help me with, I am always excited to learn and try new things. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Perfect. Nailed it. What I'm gonna do today, I have that is what we're going to do today. I have
storm windows.
Storm thanks. That is what we are going to do today. I have screen windows. Storm windows.
Storm windows down.
Okay.
Don't talk to me when I'm screwing.